Hi everyone, thank you so much for tuning into my tarot channel today. I want to share a couple of cards. Just tuning into the energy. It feels like I'm just hearing the word hotspot. So I don't know if you're in like an intense high energy situation in your life, or maybe just like a situation where like you're being called to change things, and you're realizing like sometimes things have to reach a crisis point for us to realize like they can't continue the way they are. And that can involve several crisis points where like you realize, oh, this has to change. And then as you realize that has to change, you're like, oh, that has to change. And there may not be ways to change it right now, but I think you're realizing the Maid in reverse. Something left you feeling like almost get like someone took your innocence, like they took your sort of like sweetness, because you feel like something's been taken from you that like was yours. They took, not that you're not sweet, but they took, I just mean like they took advantage of your sweetness, okay? Sorry. Somebody was not trustworthy, okay? And I think that now you're speaking out about it, the hunter. There's definitely people in your life who've made you feel hunted, or who've, been toxic or negative, and just Spirit want us to know about that, and that feeling of being hunted in general, which is really negative and scary. Okay, the riddle. Oh, life is the riddle you gotta Actually, I think it's Life is a Rhythm. I was thinking that it's just like some song. Life is a rhythm, you gotta keep moving. I think it's from some movie when I was a kid. I don't even know, the cartoon. I know rhythm and riddle aren't the same word, but like for some reason I'm thinking of the Riddler from Batman. Like, I think that life is presenting you these riddles, and you're like, I don't actually know what to do with this. You're just like, here's the riddle of what is, and it's like, who's gonna solve it? You're just like feeling a little paralyzed is what I'm hearing, like paralyzed. But the ocean. I think as time goes on, you're going to see reflected back to you your thoughts. So I think you're making a turning point where you're realizing that you have to like think positive thoughts or something, or like think different thoughts than you're thinking. Because the thoughts you're thinking right now are like counterproductive, and they're real and they're true, but you have to move beyond them. I don't know what they are, but it's sort of like exclaiming the riddle. You're like, this is happening. And then you're like, I don't know what the next step is, but this is happening. And it's like, that's the hot spot that I was talking about. The queen. You're going to handle this situation like a queen. I feel like in the beginning because we got the hunter. I feel like, you're not going to let yourself be hunted by some hunter. And like, it's not just taking your power back. It's also only engaging in situations that are like, deemed worthy of your presence. I know that sounds snobby, but I want you to be more particular and more like picky about who you spend your time with and put your energy towards. Like, there's people coming up to us at the store, and do we have to say hi? No, there's no rule we have to say hi. If they're being nice and asking us a question, if we know where the peanut butter is, and we do, sure, we can say hi. If they're like harassing us and throwing cans at us, no, we don't have to say hi. And that's kind of like just a metaphor for life. Like, you don't have to talk to someone who's insulting you, or like or who's gaslighting you, or not like seeing your point of view, or someone who's just like being abusive, or like, for example, insulting your appearance, for example. You don't have to talk to that person, because I think you're building deeper intimacy with yourself, and as you do that, you're like looking for intimacy outside. You're like, oh, now I understand myself more, and so now that's going to be attracted to you, I think, within the next couple years. It's just going to naturally flow in like a new situation that's more, you don't feel hunted in this situation. You feel okay just existing. And I also feel like hunter, maybe you had to be a hunter in old relationships, like you had to hunt someone down. The threshold. Yeah, you're right on the threshold of jumping off to a new situation. Like the fool jumps off the cliff with his little dog, with faith and just folly and trust. That card is a lot about career. I don't have my tarot today. It's somewhere hidden in my car. But career, you know, I'm just going to make the link here. I'm seeing you're on the threshold of a career that you don't see it right now. And it feels like as you exclaim these things, like the riddles of the conundrum that I think you're in. I'm hearing the word conundrum. As you exclaim these, like, what am I going to do? This is the situation. Here's the limits. Here's the boundaries. Here's this like bad situation I've been put in, and I don't think I can fix things, which is the paralyzing feeling we had before. Hotspot is the pressure that you're being put under pressure by the universe to change things, to, you know, I think you're realizing some old situation is just not sustainable or reliable or dependable. And this old situation made you feel like canceled out, like you didn't matter, like you were whited out, like yourself and your feelings is like not important. But you know what? Whoever made you feel that way, they don't feel important and they don't like value themselves. So I'm not saying that's good that they're acting this way. But the river, yeah. As time goes on in this situation, you're going to find that the more you can visualize what you want and stop feeding into those thoughts. I really recommend journaling. Whoever's watching needs to be journaling, because this keeps coming up. Like just writing a list of these anxious thoughts, like that are subsuming you about this riddle situation that seems impossible, that you're like stuck in. Write all those fears and what am I going to do? And then like, you know, do some other work that's like more positive, right? Get out all that negative worry and fear, and then try to like make another list of like ideas, or like what could I do, like things I could throw at the wall to see if it happens, you know, maybe 20 of those things. Okay, 20 possibilities for your new life, for your new future, just ideas. This could be like new jobs, new places to live, like new situations, loopholes, like temporary situations. I don't know what kind of situation. It sounds like you're in a transitional situation basically, and you're realizing something old with somebody who discounted you is not working, and maybe several people. And I don't know how you're going to make this transition, but it sounds like you're being pushed like a pressure cooker or like a percolator coffee to decide this. And my guides are saying, the Pilgrim, your guides are saying that you're going towards a Mecca of sorts. If you know, the pilgrims go towards Mecca, which is like the Holy Land. And, you know, your Mecca is self-actualization, since we got the self canceled out. It's like, there may be like many twists and turns that you're not seeing, but the more, Spirit's saying like the more you can feel good and just like focus on feeling good, okay? Those things are going to come and they're going to trickle through. And the more you can allow a little bit of good, you're going to get a more and more good. If you can allow a lot of bit of good, you can allow a lot of more good. The universe doesn't know the difference between what we visualize and what is real. So I just want to say that for anyone who's like feeling trapped or scared, yes, that's real and that's scary. But also we can spend time literally imagining what we want, okay? What would be better than this? What would be something I would want? And that can have to do with like literal visualization, like what's it like? What does it feel like in my body? You know, how is it different? And then I would spend like 10 minutes a day doing that. I'm getting an energy of like someone who's really antsy, and like also, I don't know if you play an instrument, but like that could really help right now, like playing piano or like something rhythmic that could like just like chill you out, because I think you're on this like, I'm almost seeing like a metronome, but it's like going crazy, like, and it's off caliber, it's like off time. Like once you get back in the rhythm of time, of like maybe just literal time, you're gonna feel more relaxed. This could also just be listening to music. And like we got the river before. I was gonna say, like, this river, like life is a river, okay? Like it's like flowing, and you gotta realize that sometimes like the flow gets shitty, and like there's like rocks, or there's like mud and muck, or the delta, like, which is the mouth of the river, gets like flooded or something, and like there's like flooding, or, you know, there's issues with this river, but it's flowing, it's still going. And, you know, I'm someone who like is obsessed with plants, and like I will keep a plant alive forever, and like I am amazing at it because I just don't give up, like, unless it's like really, really dead. But if it has some glimmer of something, I know it can be brought back to life. And I see that in you. Like, you've been through some crazy shit, I feel like. I don't know what it is, but the past year and a half maybe. And it's like, yeah, like you got through it, you're okay, but like now you're like, now what? And it's like, just let the river flow. You know, it's gonna naturally flow in a way that's favorable for you, and you have to just be ready to hop in at the right time, is what I'm hearing. And go downstream. Go downstream is what Abraham Hicks, I'm channeling literally Abraham Hicks right now, okay? Just go downstream. If you go upstream, you're just gonna get stuck and you're gonna make yourself tired. And upstream thoughts are like, oh no, oh, this is never gonna get fixed, oh God. And I said to write those down. It's not like you could control those. Like, write them down, get them out of your body. But like, then it's like, you know, if we go downstream, we're not gonna be in pain and we're gonna attract more peace. And that's the goal here, okay? We can't fix a lot of circumstances, but we can control how we feel. I'm obsessed with Viktor Frankl, and he said in the concentration camps, like, we may not be able to control our circumstances, but we can control our minds, okay? And that's for any survivor out there who's going through some tough situation. I know you're out there, I know you're watching, and I don't know what it is. It feels intense, and it's like, take that intensity and just like put it into something. I don't know, it could be even just a walk. Just like channel the intensity. Like, yes, you're upset, go for like a 20-minute walk and just like, ooh, get it out, and then come back and try to find peace, okay? Because this is the goal here in this life. Like, we can't always control what's going on, and we can control thinking of better times, okay? Thinking of what we would like to happen, calming ourselves down, watching a funny movie, reading a book, making a list of goals, try to act on some of those goals, cleaning out the drawer, cleaning the car, spraying the car, you know, cleaning the dog, whatever it is, like, what can you control? And go from there.